Hey, little goblins. Well, you guys really liked the autumn aesthetics ranking video that I posted, so I thought we would do a winter version. Winter aesthetics were a lot harder to find. Like, they all kind of look the same to an extent, because obviously in the wintertime we're all wearing coats and scarves. So I did actually take to my YouTube channel and I posted on my community board section asking you guys if you had any suggestions for more niche winter aesthetics. And you guys posted quite a few ideas. So I definitely took some of those ideas that I didn't already have on my list, some of which I've never heard of. So we're gonna get educated together. Well, without further ado, I think I should just introduce you guys to the tier ranks. At the very top, we have Winter Wonderland, all in caps. Forgive the chopping off of Wonderland. It bothers me greatly. Underneath that, we have You Could Catch Me Out in This. I like it enough, it might not be top tier, but I would wear it. Right in the middle, I didn't know what to put, so I just put a little shrugging guy. It's fine. Close to the bottom, but not quite. We have Baby, It's Cold Outside, because I'm not wearing that. And then right at the bottom, we have May and Avalanche Find You and Bury You Forever, because I don't want to see that. Obviously, these are all my opinions. You can disagree with me. You can agree with me loudly in the comments. Validate me. I'm kidding. Don't let your feelings get hurt if I throw something into Avalanche tier, because who cares what I think? All right, we're just gonna go in alphabetical order. We're gonna start off with Balletcore. I didn't think of Balletcore as a winter aesthetic necessarily, but I grew up with the Nutcracker Ballet. I would go watch the Nutcracker Ballet. I was in a production of the Nutcracker Ballet. There is something about ballet that is so wintry, Christmassy. And when I was looking up Balletcore winter outfits, there was actually a decent amount of them. I feel like a lot of the stereotyped ballet outfits are very much pink leotard, white tutu, white tights. But a lot of actual ballet dancers, and I can attest to this from growing up going to ballet, don't really wear that stuff a ton. Leotards, sure, but a lot of times there's leg warmers, there's sweatpants, there's little sweater cardigans thrown on over top. A lot of times you're trying to keep your muscles warm while you're warming up and stuff, and then you might shed the layers as you get more and more into your class. But I do really like a lot of the leg warmer looks, the layering looks, and I kind of like the color palette. It's not exactly a color palette that I wear a ton. I would love to have a bit more creams and whites in my wardrobe, and maybe even some more ballet pink color in my wardrobe. Sometimes a lot of those colors wash me out, believe it or not. Yeah, sometimes they're just not very complimentary to my complexion, but I do like a lot of these outfits. I feel like this is what I want to wear more of when I go to the gym and stuff. Obviously not point shoes and stuff or tutus, but the sweatpants, maybe a leotard, and a little wrap sweater cardigan thing. But yeah, I could definitely see myself wearing a lot of these outfits in an active wear way. Where to rank you? I'm gonna put this in the second tier. I'm actually a little surprised. All right, on to the next aesthetic. We have Clean Girl. I have ranked Clean Girl in past videos. I probably did it in my autumn video. I might have ranked Clean Girl a couple times. I don't know why she keeps showing up in all these ranking videos. I think it is just a very popular aesthetic for the masses. And I don't mean that in a judgy or negative way, but I do think that a lot of this style appeals to most people because it's relatively simple. It's comfortable, it's attainable, it's in a lot of stores. But yeah, Clean Girl loves her matcha, she loves her Pilates, she loves neutral colors, mostly in a lighter palette, beiges, whites, sometimes a light blue, light pink, but occasionally a black, a gray. Yeah, a lot of neutrals. And then it's a lot of basics. There's no patterns, nothing really super eye-catching or interesting necessarily about these outfits. I think they're nice. I think they're really I was gonna say really clean looking. Clean girl is clean looking. No, I think in the winter time, she likes to wear a lot of Uggs. She likes to wear a nice big beige sweater, sweatpants, but not your typical sweatpant. It has to be like maybe a flared leg sweatpant or a wide leg sweatpant, like a really nice pair of sweatpants. I found a couple Hailey Bieber pictures and I wanted to share them because I feel like she's really the epitome of like this whole clean girl aesthetic. So I wanted to find some of her winter outfits. All right, I think clean girl, I just think she's boring. I understand why a lot of people like this style, but I also understand why I'm not a huge fan of this style. So we're gonna put her in Baby It's Cold Outside because I'm not wearing that. Maybe I should put it in the shruggy guy. Here's the thing. There's like pieces that I would wear. I would wear one of those chunky sweaters. I would wear one of those coats, but I would style it and the rest of my pieces would be so drastically different that it would become a whole different aesthetic. I'm gonna leave her there. Baby It's Cold. I think overall, if I'm judging it for like the entire aesthetic, not just individual pieces, I wouldn't wear that. Ooh, okay. So next we have dark cottagecore. Guys, obviously, I love this style. So dark cottagecore is, as its name implies, it's cottagecore, but in a more wintry, darker palette. I think generally this is more my vibe with cottagecore. I also feel like I haven't been vibing with cottagecore in a while. It's a little too hobbity Little House on the Prairie for me. Like, I don't really want to wear a dress with an apron. But some of the outfits I found, I would absolutely wear. They're a little bit more modern. There is this brand that I discovered a few years back that perfectly encapsulates the dark cottagecore aesthetic. It's called Varia, I think is how it's pronounced. Every single piece is a hit. I want to buy every single piece on their website. I'm absolutely obsessed with their aesthetic, the embroidery, the uniqueness of each piece, like the different silhouettes. It's like they invaded my mind and they were like, oh, that's what you want. Well, we're gonna make it. So I did save a lot of images from their website because I think their pieces are just absolutely stunning. I just love this style. I think it's so cozy and woodsy and wintry. I could see myself in these outfits, lighting my candles, drinking my tea. Yeah, I'm gonna put this one in Winter Wonderland. I would wear all of that. Okay, this is one that you guys suggested. I did already have it on my list, but shout out to anyone that suggested Frazzled English Woman aesthetic. This one is so funny, like frazzled English women. Like, it's so specific and niche, I guess. But I love this aesthetic. Like, it's a thing. Did I do this one in my autumn video? I feel like I talked about this recently, but yeah, she deserves to come back for the winter version nonetheless. I think the queen of the Frazzled English Woman is Helena Bonham Carter. I love her style, and honestly, the schlumpier the better. The more layered and disheveled, the better. I think she's just like the queen of looking unbothered and on the go. You know, she's a busy gal. I also found a fair bit of photos of Miss Keira Knightley out and about with her scarves and her beanies, and I love this outfit with these like multicolored buttons on this cardigan. Very cute. And yeah, her hair always looks messy, but like good. How do people do that? Because when my hair looks messy, it just looks bad and greasy and flat. I would love to have chicly, disheveled hair. And I feel like they have a secret method that they're not sharing with the rest of us. Now, I feel like the Frazzled English Woman aesthetic is like uniquely autumn winter. I feel like you need a scarf. Like, the scarf is a really important component to this aesthetic. Also, like multiple layering and knits and usually like fun patterns, a little pattern mixing. So I'm gonna put Miss Frazzle Dazzle into You Could Catch Me Out in this, because I think it's more casual and unintentional. I would totally wear this. I do wear this style, but I'm just not really like thinking about it, I guess. All right, let's move on, because I've been rambling about this one for a minute and I'm probably gonna cut like 90% of it. Okay, I need a sip of coffee for this next one. Glam. I didn't know what to call it. I think I didn't make up this aesthetic, but like I didn't really find it online and no one suggested it. I just kind of like came up with it myself. But I was thinking of like what celebrity culture, particularly like mainstream celebrities like the Kardashians, wear for the winter, because I've seen it a lot over the past 10 years or whatever. Gosh, how do I explain this aesthetic? It's just, yeah, it's a lot of fur. It's a lot of like full-on tights, legging bodysuit things, and like stilettos in the snow. I do love the look of a big fur coat, okay? Like Cruella had something going on. Completely disagree with her morals. Now, I did notice a lot of these outfits look dated, and maybe that's just because the photos are old. Maybe they don't actually wear this style anymore. I don't really keep up with Kardashian culture. I actually don't mind this picture of whoever this one is, and it looks like it might be a little more recent. So maybe they've, upgraded. But overall, really dated, and a lot of these looks just seem very impractical as well, like not very comfortable, not very snow friendly. Yeah, even though I think a fur coat moment can be pretty chic and I like some of those fuzzy hats, I just think that overall this aesthetic leans a bit impractical for the winter time and uncomfortable, honestly. A lot of these outfits just felt very much like curated for Instagram and also a bit dated, which maybe is my bad. Maybe these photos are like 10 years old, but I also feel like if everything you were wearing 10 years ago looks super dated now, that's just not a style that I'm gonna vibe with. Like, I definitely lean more towards timeless fashions. I'm gonna put this in Baby It's Cold Outside. I don't think it's like the most atrocious. I wouldn't wear that. Okay, so this next aesthetic one of you guys suggested, so thank you for sending me Gorpcore. What is that, you ask? Well, let me tell you. According to Grailed.com, Gorpcore, named after the colloquial term for trail mix, good ol' raisins and peanuts, is a style focused around wearing utilitarian, functional, outdoors-inspired gear. So I see a lot of brands. It seems to be very heavily brand-focused, like outdoors brands, like Arc'teryx, Patagonia, North Face, Solomon's. What are those like? They're like almost snowboarding ski glasses. They're like multicolored neon colors, a lot of that. Yeah, just a lot of outdoor gear, but it looks like a lot of it is more neon colored. So I live in Brooklyn. I've seen Gorpcore probably every time I exit my apartment. People are just gorping it up in the streets. Especially when I go to like the more affluent neighborhoods, these brands are thriving over there. Outdoorsy brands are usually a bit expensive. They're built for longevity and utility and all of that. I don't know if everyone here in Brooklyn is wearing all of this stuff for that, but you know how it is. I think, it serves a purpose. It looks comfortable. It looks like it keeps you warm in the winter time. And, if you are into being outdoorsy, a lot of this probably comes in handy. I will say I'm not a fan of neon colors. I think the color palette for this aesthetic is not speaking to me. Second to last tier, that's where it's going. Our next aesthetic is Little Women Winter, which I think some of you guys suggested. It was already on my list, but shout out to whoever suggested it. This is such a classic fan favorite winter aesthetic, I think. I tried to mix in different images of like kind of more modern takes on this style, as well as pictures from the different Little Women movies. I think I especially love Jo's outfits because she mixes a lot more masculine styles with her skirts and dresses that she like had to wear at the time. But this classic photo of her like on the staircase is like one of my favorite outfits ever. But there's this photo of Winona Jo with like a top hat on. I love that. But I also love the bonnets. And you should watch the last video that I posted, like historical fashion things that I think we need to bring back. Bonnets was on the list, so go watch that. So I wanted to include a couple images of like more modern takes on a bonnet. I really love this outfit with the blue cardigan, this little olive green scarf. I think this is a perfect modern interpretation of some of the Little Women outfits. It just looks so cozy and comfy, and I just want to wear that to a bookshop and lose myself in stacks of books. I can't decide if I should put it in the top or second to top tier. And here's why. Even though I absolutely adore this style, I think if I was going based off of like historically accurate bonnet, full hoop dress kind of style, like I'm not really gonna wear that, you know? But I do love the modern interpretations, and I love taking like elements and pieces from the historical clothes. So I can't decide. I think, can I come back to this? No, we have to decide now. I'm gonna put it in the second tier because of all of the things I explained. Okay, this next aesthetic might take me out. If my eyes just randomly turn into full-on heart shapes, frightening, but accurate, because this is medieval core winter. If you've been here for any amount of time, you probably already know where I'm ranking this. You know how I feel about it. I love my medieval core. I do have to give a big shout out to this creator on TikTok that I've been following for a minute, and they make just the most luscious inspiration mood boards for what they call weird evil. It's like a take on weird medieval. They're just so good, and I'll share a couple of them here and like put their name up so you guys can go follow them on TikTok. I actually went onto their Pinterest as well and downloaded some of the pins that they already had saved, which was really helpful because, guys, if you just search medieval core winter, even on Pinterest, like the stuff doesn't come up. I'm like, where? I was surprised. I thought Pinterest knew me better. I thought we had a closer relationship than that after all these years. After all I've done for you. I think this is how I would dress 90% of the time. And I'm slowly trying to get my wardrobe here. The reason that I say slowly getting the wardrobe here is because so many of these pieces are extremely unique and have a lot of character. So they're either rare thrift finds, which is how I'm hoping to find most of this stuff, or it's like custom made, small business, handmade type of stuff, which is much more expensive. Or third option is thrift flipping things. Wow, say that 10 times fast. Say anything 10 times fast, apparently. Thrift flipping. Guys, I swear I'm actually trying. This is embarrassing. Thrift flipping things. Yeah, I want to do that more. I just don't have a lot of the skills to do it well, so I have to be patient with myself, which is a really hard thing to do. And it takes time. Even if you have the skills, it takes a lot of time to sew things, re-alter things, maybe add embroidery or all these like little intricate details that I love about a lot of these pieces. They're intricate and detailed and expensive for a reason, because they take a lot of time and skill. But, you know, eventually I would love to dress a lot more like this. So obviously this is going in Winter Wonderland because this is my dream wardrobe and I want every single piece that I just showed you guys. I don't even want to continue the video anymore. I want to end there. But we have 2 more aesthetics. So I can't. I've been seeing this aesthetic all over the internet this year. Apparently it's popping off in 2025. That's the Ralph Lauren winter Christmas aesthetic. I've also been seeing conflicting views on this. I feel like a lot of the content that I've seen about it is people saying that it's ugly, and a lot of people comparing it to Trey McDougal's apartment before Charlotte redid it. If you've ever watched Sex and the City, you know what I'm talking about. The thing about Ralph Lauren aesthetic is that it's a lot of plaid. And I love a plaid moment. I think it looks very wintry and Christmassy, cozy, kind of old-fashioned, and kind of classic. A lot of classic styles going on in the Ralph Lauren world. I actually went to the Ralph Lauren store in Manhattan, the one that has like the viral coffee shop attached to it, Ralph's. Didn't get a coffee because the line was out of control, but we walked around the store for a bit and I was like, oh, I'm a fan. Okay. It's very like Americana, New England, countryside styles, and I kind of like that. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, look at these sweaters. I want one. I want one of these sweaters. Who wants to give me $250? I don't think I'd ever wear one of the teddy bear things. I'm not entirely sure what the whole teddy bear situation is about. It's cute. I think, it's very iconic. I think Ralph Lauren is great for wintertime. I will say, I think it leans a little bit country club for me. So I wouldn't wear this like all the time. I don't think this would be like my number one aesthetic, but I would totally wear a lot of those sweaters, a lot of those jackets. I'm gonna put it in You Could Catch Me Out in this, because you could. All right, we have one final aesthetic, and I'm gonna try and fly through this one because my battery is running out. Thankfully, we've already kind of semi-discussed this one because it's very similar to Clean Girl, and that is Scandi Girl. Scandinavian girl aesthetic. Someone did suggest this one and they were like, this is a good one to do, even though a lot of us here in Finland don't actually dress like that. Like, we dress more weather appropriate. Now, my interpretation is that Scandi Girl is, and I don't know why, Scandi Girl. She is like Clean Girl, but she's leaning a little more crunchy granola. Like, I don't think Clean Girl would wear Birkenstocks, but Scandi Girl would wear Birkenstocks. Clean Girl doesn't wear patterns. Scandi Girl would wear like a patterned knit. You know what I mean? Overall, they're pretty similar in terms of like being more minimal leaning, a lot of neutral color palettes going on. I think Scandi Girl probably has a bit more color in her wardrobe. Also, forgive me if like some of the photos aren't like insanely accurate. I try my best to like find accurate depictions of these aesthetics, but if it's something that I'm not insanely familiar with, I'm like, I think this kind of looks like it, but it also could look like this other thing. Like, some of these photos look a little Clean Girl, but they could also be Scandi Girl because there's a lot of overlap. Like, I think Scandi Girl would wear more of a hand-me-down, chunky beige knit that her mom had in the 90s, whereas Clean Girl would like get a new cashmere beige sweater. Sorry, I don't mean to be like just comparing these two throughout the whole ranking of Scandi Girl, but they're just so similar and I am not super familiar with either of these, so I'm just like, I think these are two different aesthetics. I will say, I think I like Scandi Girl more than Clean Girl for sure, because I love a little bit of crunchy leaning aesthetics. I love a chunky knit. I love things that look a little more worn in. She's going right in the middle. Little shruggy guy, because he doesn't have anyone to hang out with, and that's kind of how I feel about it. Well, friends, that concludes our winter aesthetics ranking. We didn't put anything in the bottom tier. You know what? I'm a lover, not a hater. I also feel like this tier maker site just has one too many levels. Like, I don't really break things down in my head into that many categories. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, let me know how you guys would rank these different aesthetics. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos. I hope you guys are staying warm this winter in something super stylish and fabulous. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!